Hello, watch enthusiasts, lovers, and nerds. TikTok Tyler is back.
With Analog Armand.
And thanks for tuning in to Govberg Watches. Today, we're looking at the 2015 Heuer Monaco in stainless steel, reference CAW211P. We just received this watch only days ago. This watch was originally introduced in October of 2015, but because of sheer popularity, authorized dealers are finally receiving their first allocations. You can see this watch at our Ardmore location and find out more at govbergwatches.com. Also, be sure to download our mobile app, Govberg On Time, for the latest news and watch reviews. On Armand's wrist, 17 centimeters, 6.7 inches, you can see this watch screams vintage. From the organization of the crown and pushers to the Heuer labeling, this watch harks back to the 1969 classic. Let's have a history lesson and romanticize the idea of the Monaco a bit more. The Monaco was created by Heuer in 1969, and its creation went along with a collaborative project called the chronomatic movement. I call this project a collaboration because both Hamilton and Breitling participated in the movement's creation as well. Thus, this is why you can see this movement in these manufacturers' watches throughout the 70s. The chronomatic movement was distinctive because of its organization, the crown on the left and the pushers on the right. This movement was also the first chronograph movement with a micro rotor. Alas, other chrono movements like the Valjoux 7750 and the El Primero took center stage, and the chronomatic movement fell by the wayside. The Monaco, however, still perpetuated in the watch industry as an iconic leader, particularly because Steve McQueen wore it in the film Le Mans. It was the first square-case chronograph wristwatch that was water-resistant, another first for the Monaco. In fact, the Monaco is a rule-breaker and an avant-garde leader in lots of regards. It housed the first micro-rotor chronograph movement. It was the first water-resistant square chronograph. Instead of displaying time in a circular cyclical case, Heuer decided to add corners and interpret time as something more rigid. Then, in 2004, TAG Heuer launched the Monaco V4, which is the first watch to be driven by a belt and pulley system. These are just some indications about how the Monaco is a rule breaker and is made for the rebel watch enthusiast. Now that you have a sense of what this timepiece means to the industry, let's talk facts. The manufacturer's designation of this timepiece is 39 by 39 millimeters, with a thickness of 14.5 millimeters. Lug to lug, it measures 47 millimeters. This watch wear is much larger than a 39 by 39 millimeter case, so trying the watch on is imperative before buying. The watch is thick and has rigid edges, so this is not a watch to wear if you want to fit it under a tight sleeve or dress cuff. The majority of the case is a brush finishing, except for the side, flanks, and the lugs. Speaking of the lugs, they are quite short, so the downward slope is not very prominent. The watch also features a raised sapphire crystal, which adds to the overall thickness of the watch. Looking at the dial, we see a soft, bluish-gray dial that has a distinctively matte finish, compared to the other blue Monaco of yesteryear that features a bright, sunburst finish dial. This matte blue dial is contrasted by orange accents on the indices and hands, and silver-tone chronograph subdials. Looking more closely, you can see the hand-applied indices are moving in a horizontal fashion, instead of facing toward the center of the dial. Once again, another great vintage touch by TAG Heuer. We can then see an outline date aperture at 6 o'clock and Heuer labeling at 12 o'clock. This acts as the icing on the cake and completes the look of the dial. As we move to the strap and the buckle, you can see a substantially bolstered, black, punched leather strap that mimics the look of vintage racing gloves. The strap thins out as it gets closer to the wrist, so it sits close. One of my favorite aspects and highlights of this watch is the Heuer labeled clasp. This is just another touch from TAG Heuer that adds to the timepiece's vintage appeal. If we turn to the back of the watch, we can see the Sellita-powered modular chronograph movement. To be more specific, it's the Sellita SW300 with Dupuis de Praz 2006 module. The modular movement is one of the key indicators of why this watch does carry a higher thickness measurement. The heartbeat is 4 Hz, and it has a modest 40-hour power reserve. This has been TikTok Tyler,
And Analog Armand.
Showing you the stainless steel Heuer Monaco, reference CAW211P. See it live at our Suburban Square location in Ardmore, or give us a ring at 610-664-1715 to chat watches with us.